Hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Hi, guys. How you doing tonight? Hey, thanks for joining me. All right. Hi, Sinclairs and everyone else. All kinds of people joining. Mary Jane, hello. Hello, hello. I love to see who's coming on. Hey, Nadia, welcome back. Gosh, we've got some great people on tonight. Thanks for periscoping with me. I'm looking forward to talking to y'all about discs some more and just finishing up where we've been leaving off. Hey, Bree, I saw your name pop up there. So maybe you're back. Maybe you're done with your rehearsal tonight. Hi, Crystal. Good to see y'all. You're excited to hear my thoughts on this topic. Hey, Melody, I got to meet one of your friends today, so that was awesome. Head to school, we want to drop by. Hi, hi. So glad you made it, Bree. That is great. That's awesome. I love the Curzios. God bless you guys. So, yes, good to visit with everybody. Hey, Wendy, I can't do Periscope without you. Well, I can, but I don't like to. Hi, Brooke. Thanks for joining. Hey, Fernanda. Awesome. Gosh, I've got a great group on tonight. Well, y'all, you know who I am. And if you don't, I'll introduce myself, Trina Titus Lozano. And thanks for the hearts. The more hearts, the better. So y'all just keep on sending the hearts. With 4 other girlfriends. Awesome. Perfect. You know what, Bree, let me just say, I'm glad that you and your girlfriends are joining, and so great to have them. In fact, I hope that each one of you girls get your own Periscope and just join me, and you follow me, I'll follow you. We'll get to know each other a little bit, even though we're all the way in Florida. I have been going over a great topic, the DISC personality test. If you haven't taken it, take it. It's on my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com. There we go. There's my website right up there. And we've been studying the DISC personalities a little bit. So you guys need to know what personality type you are. You're probably a combination of 1, 2, or even 3, but you're probably mostly 1 or 2 of them. Either pretty dominant, let's see, inspiring and interactive. That's what I am. Cautious or supportive and steady. So, of course, my husband and I are opposites. I am mostly I, and I've got a little bit of I and S and some D. My husband is mostly S, and you'll find out maybe the people that you're married to are kind of your opposites, which works well. It becomes like a you complete me sort of thing, but it can be a little bit complicated whenever you wish that they would act a little bit more like you. And that's never going to happen because they are who they are and you are who you are, and that's the way God made you. And your kids are who they are too. So we really want to make sure that you have an idea of who your kids are, what personality type they are. My brother said to me one time, Trina, I can't believe your kids are all grown up. For those of you who don't know me, I've got 4 kids, but 3 are married and they're all adults. And so I've got 7 kids and 9 grandkids, and every one of us have a different personality combination. So we've got to learn how to adapt and how to get along with others. And since you're there, oh, hi from Brazil. And since you're there with your friends, Bree, I just want to say, it's really great to have sort of a tribe around you. And it's great for y'all to be sort of each other's village or body of Christ, whatever way you want to look at it. Just some really good friends. Hi, Amanda. Because I'm always the hyper one that loves to do a lot of activities and have fun, and you want those kind of friends to say, you're going to the amusement park, here, take my kids to Six Flags, because I don't like doing that kind of stuff. And you guys can sort of take turns. I'm the other kind of mom that likes to do math homework. Maybe she can help your kids with their math homework or with their science projects. And y'all can sort of trade off and take turns, with your friends or with your village, because everybody doesn't like to do everything. We all have different strengths. We all have different weaknesses. So we really need to learn to appreciate each other. So check out my past Periscopes. Yeah, you can ask Brooke if you need help with your math homework or if you need anything planned. She's the planner of the family, okay? But if you want to go to an amusement park or a circus or a parade, I'm your girl. Hey, right, I've got that. I'll love to show up to the party. I'm just not really good at planning it. So Brooke and I are good. We got to have the teamwork so that we can, so we complement each other. And that's so important with your family, with your friends. Y'all can all work together. So that's what you guys want to do. So y'all, get your tribe, get your village, take turns doing stuff that you love doing so that everybody can really accentuate the positive and, not worry so much about, the negative for sure. Because we want to strengthen our strengths and we don't want to operate out of weakness. That's not so good. Okay, now conflict, reducing family conflict. The best way to reduce family conflict is number one, to know myself. And then after I really know myself really well, and I've done a great job with my own self-awareness and my own self-management based on knowing myself and my strengths and weaknesses, I also want to get to know my family members, especially my spouse or my parents or the people that you're interacting with a lot, your spouse, your parents, your children. So right now, I'm just going to focus on adults. So adult to adult, when you need to really reduce a conflict or get through a conflict, you'll notice that based on the personality types, they will respond a different way. So the initial response, if there's been a real confrontation, your D's going to get pretty aggressive, okay? Your D's going to get demanding and bold and challenging. Your I is going to get aggressive also. They're going to get wordy, maybe cocky, and sarcastic and loud and probably a little bit rude. They're going to get mouthy, okay? That's the I whenever there's the initial response to conflict. The S is going to get really passive. They're going to be withdrawn and very calm and shut down. Shut down in a way like, I don't care what you do, I am not talking about it. And then the C is going to get pretty passive. Also, they're going to be moody, defensive, and also withdrawn. Well, then if that pressure continues and that conflict continues and it gets more pressure and worse, the D is going to finally change and get passive. And then they're going to resign and then just turn you off. They will just shut it down, okay? That's the way they'll get their control. Then the I is going to then become passive, and then they will become conforming. Why? Because they're seeking approval. They want that approval. The S is going to switch and become aggressive now, and they will switch, and then all of a sudden they've got a really long fuse, and then they'll blow, and then they'll get attacking and angry, okay? And the C, which had initially will get passive, they will switch and they will become aggressive, getting demanding and exaggerate criticism for you. They'll become very critical and very demanding. So it's really interesting how when there's the pressure put on, we initially, our strength overdone will become a weakness. But then when that pressure hits more and it really gets more intensified, bam, we completely do a full reversal and switch things around. So what you want to do is you want to think about where you are in this conflict and think about the way you're reacting. So observe yourself, and y'all at least think about the last time you got in a fight, how you behaved and what you did, how far you let things go, and then also the person that you were sort of fighting with. What did they do? What is their behaviors? Because if you modify your behavior, you like this, Megan? Good. I'm so glad you joined me, hon. If you modify your behavior, that can be the catalyst that will turn things around to bring love and peace back into the situation. So we just want to make, this is what you needed? Yeah, it's the self-awareness. And then remember, after the self-awareness is that self-management. So we want to be able to turn things around and bring things back into a control, a self-control with our own personality. So whenever we see those hot buttons getting pushed, and either we become instantly aggressive or instantly passive and shut down, and then if the pressure cooks more, there's the switch, get passive, the aggressive get passive, and the passive get aggressive. You know, whatever it is, the switch happens. No matter what, y'all, press yourself towards doing self-awareness and self-management. You shut down until you're pushed to blow, and then you blow. Isn't that amazing the way that works? And it's a switch around. But we don't ever want to get to that point. And when we can feel ourselves, we can feel the pressure coming in. If you're a thermometer, you feel it rising up like, oh, my blood's going to boil. Simmer it down. take some deep breaths and really, that's right, really push yourself. That's right. God help us, and he will. Remember, self-control is the fruit of the Spirit. So I love what the Bible says. And as good as you can, live at peace with everybody. So we've really got to do our part to live at peace with everybody the best we can. And the way that that's going to happen is I manage myself. And then I don't blame other people. If you try to manage somebody else and you're like, hey, you need to simmer down. Hey, you're getting really angry. What, it's just going to make them more angry, right? And then it becomes this power struggle, and it's not going to help to reduce that conflict. You know, Amanda, that's good. If you're a natural peacemaker, that's great. That's a gift. But in that time of pressure, the shutdown is not okay. And then the way that you as personalities do when it gets really, really, really pressure, we know you guys have a long fuse, and then whoo, you blow up real big. But self-management says, no, I want to keep the peace, and I want to really strive towards love and peace, and that's your strength. So you want to continue to just really operate out of your strength. So, the way that you can sort of modify it, if you're trying to interact or you're trying to relate to somebody who is a very high I, excuse me, you want to allow time to socialize with them. Allow time for the small talk. Say positive things. Compliment them. Understand that they have a fear of rejection or loss. So you want to really engage with the I and let them know that you like them. Give them that social approval by complimenting them. Hey, you look nice today. I love your hair, whatever it is. But don't ever push that I for perfection, because they're not going to ever be perfect that way. But recognize that they are awesome at being outgoing and fun, and just compliment them with that. So when you open up a conflict resolution time with really complimenting the I and giving them that time for small talk, that's going to help with the conflict resolution. Okay, if you're trying to relate and have a resolve with the S, you want to explain to them how you want things done, but don't expect them to figure out the details on their own. Okay, that's going to make them feel too pressured. You want to be open and really share their feelings, because S's do care about feelings. And the more open you are and the more you talk about feelings with them, they're going to like that, because S's are very highly relational. But you don't want to pressure them to make any change. Oh, hey, Mom, thanks for joining. You don't ever want to pressure an S to make change, especially when you're trying to do conflict resolution, because they're not going to like you pressuring them to make change, because they don't like change. So you want to be really patient with that. You want to be slow pace, so slow your talk down. I got to really work on this. Slow my talk down when I'm trying to resolve conflict with an S. And I want to really be patient and listen to them, because it's going to take time for them to say what they need to say. So I got to listen and slow it down and even quiet my voice a little bit, because they're going to be more comfortable resolving the conflict in that type of environment. Okay, so if you're trying to resolve conflict with somebody who's a very high C, again, slow your pace and allow time, because somebody who's a very high C, they're not going to want to be rushed to resolve the conflict, okay, like an I does. Someone who's a high I, you want to come in, compliment them, and go ahead and hurry and rush to resolve the conflict. 3 days, my dad and my husband, when you talk with them and you're trying to resolve something, my husband used to say, let me think about it. I'll let you know by Monday. And I'd always be like, okay, really? Because I thought we were going to resolve this right now. I always want to talk things through and resolve them. But I have to be patient with S's and C's. They want time to think. So you really have to give an S and a C time to think. They're not going to want to resolve the conflict right now, because they don't have that time to think. They've got to process it and think it. So you want to give them time. Bear in mind that they need that alone time to process. They're not going to be able to process right in front of you. They've got to have that. You also want to give them data and facts, because they like that. So that really helps the C to be able to resolve the conflict if they've got more information and more facts. So you don't want to generalize with them, saying you always and you never, because they're going to want the facts. But if you've got some facts to back it up, that'll give them something to think about, and then you guys can resolve it a little bit later. So those are some great ideas of resolving that. And if you're trying to resolve a conflict with a D, you got to remember, first of all, avoid the power struggle. Okay, Don't enter into a power struggle. If they want the power, just give it to them. So if they start coming at you, just say, you know, you're right. That's really an interesting thing that you have to say about that. You're right. So go ahead and give them the power. So if there's a tug of war, just give them the rope. Just say, okay, you're right. So let them have it so there's no power struggle. But don't lecture and don't nag. What if the other person in conflict doesn't want to sit and talk about the issue? Well, they're probably not going to want to sit and talk about it unless it's their idea to talk about it, and unless they're very high I. The I's are always going to want to talk about it. But you have to take your personal responsibility that you communicate with them that you want to resolve the conflict and that you recognize there's a conflict. And then based on what their personality type is, and you can watch the replay, and by the way, thanks to everyone who is watching the replay right now, you can watch the replay and think about this again, or even do your own research about it. But depending on their personality, you'll have to adjust yourself accordingly. They may need several days to process, but revisit it and come back, because like the Bible says, we need to live at peace with everyone. And if we know that someone really is offended at us, or if we're offended at them, we shouldn't give up on resolving it. We should just keep patiently revisit it until we know it is resolved, because we got to forgive and we got to love regardless of the situation. So it's our goal to communicate a desire to resolve it. And if they absolutely refuse to resolve things, we're just going to have to move on. At least we tried, and then maybe you can revisit it later, and maybe they'll be more willing later. But at least you got to try. That's your part. Try to resolve it. And then it's your part to keep in mind their personality so that you'll be more likely to have some success in resolving it. So if they're very high D, be sure that you're not lecturing or nagging them, because they will not take that well. Remember, they're the ones that like to lecture and nag. So they're not going to take well if you're lecturing and nagging at them. But if you just say, hey, you're right, and what do you think about that? And you give them an opportunity, then maybe they'll give you an opportunity and you guys can take turns. But keep away from a negative focus. D's don't do well with negativity. So keep things positive when you're resolving a conflict with a D. D's really like results and solutions. So if you keep that in mind and say, I really want resolve. I really would like a solution to our dilemma. If you can help come up with a solution, then let me know, because I think that you would have some great solutions. So keep reiterating the fact that they should have a great solution, and then I'll bet that they'll want to help you come up with a solution, even if it really is their problem. We just you gotta go with it with a D. That's your sister? Okay, yeah. You gotta go with it with a D. So there's some ideas. Also, D's like it to be very clear, very straightforward, very concise, to the point. They're not good with small talk, and they're not good with chatter. So you really got to get the job done and go direct and to the point. Remember, the D is direct, so they're going to want a direct approach to resolving conflict with them. But don't be intimidated by the D. It's easy to be intimidated by them when you need to resolve the conflict. Don't be intimidated. Just be confident in your ability to self-manage, and in your ability, to come to the table, and your willingness to resolve the conflict. And if you're humble, and you come with an attitude of humility, and you come with the attitude of, I really want to resolve this, and I really want to restore love and peace in our relationship because I care about you. Hopefully you'll get the resolve that you're looking for. So I hope that is helpful, and I hope that you guys move forward in your desire to resolve family conflict. And really, I hope that I've given you at least a few tools to think about, and you can do research on your own as well. And if you haven't taken the test, go to my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com. But I just hope and pray that you're going to continue to embrace opportunities to resolve family conflict, and don't let things just sit for weeks and months and years. When there's conflict that needs to be resolved, do your part to resolve it. Do whatever you can do to communicate the need and the desire to resolve, so that you can restore an authentic, loving, peaceful family relationship with anyone. Thanks for sharing my website, Sharday, and God bless all y'all too. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for joining me. And I just hope and pray that there will be love and peace in your family relationships. And if there's not, do your part, okay, to at least take steps in that direction. And I wish you all the best in this effort. Continue to learn and grow and know about personality traits. I am finished with this part of my series, so watch the replays on my website, and I hope that you guys just really enjoy the benefits of knowing your personality and also the personalities of the other people that you interact with, your friends and family and coworkers. So God bless you guys. Have a great rest of the night. See you tomorrow at noon and then again at 9. Bye.